Good morning, everybody. I really appreciate you for welcoming me here today. My name is Erin Headson. I've spent 2 decades in education, advocacy, trauma-informed. But I just wanted to say, I know firsthand that resilience is not about never falling. It's about having the tools to rise when life knocks you down. Anybody here have a problem with life knocking you down? I did this morning with this slide presentation. So let's see. Just a little bit about who I am. I'm a proud U.S. Air Force veteran, mom of 3, also a former special education teacher. My lived experience in the military, combined with 2 decades of working in trauma-informed spaces, has not just shaped my career, but my calling. I have founded Harbor and Rise as a coaching and a training initiative. It's still in process, but it's a place where people can feel anchored and safety when still rising into growth. I use a framework. It's called Anchor and Ascent, also still in process of formation. And it blends lived experience with evidence-based practices. So I've had a real awesome opportunity to work with a variety of concepts and tools, anyone from someone who's a doctor to someone who has actually lived experiences. What really matters to me and what I want to share with you today are practical tools, things you can really use in the moment. And when you leave this session, whether it's to lower your stress, regulate your body, or support someone else who might be struggling. The heart of it all, though, my passion is helping people move from just surviving, but really growing and thriving. So what we're going to go today is the tools for self-regulation. My goal is to give you 2 things: tools you can use for yourself and a simple way to guide someone else if they're feeling overwhelmed. And I also want to throw in a little extra piece about the awareness of vicarious trauma. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's a new word even for myself. And I think it's very important. So I want to highlight that a little bit. All right, so let's dive into the sensory grounding. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but it's very simple. It helps bring your nervous system back to the present moment. So I'm going to guide you through this, and we're going to do it. You guys will do it, and then I'm going to teach you how you can do that with someone else. So take a minute and get the juju's out. So we're going to do 5 things you can see, right? Just look around your space. Nothing exciting, just 5 things. Name them in your head. And I'll share mine with you. I have my glasses, my coffee, pencil, cell phone, and my company. All right. So next is 4 things you can touch. Maybe your hair, your skin, clothes, desk. One thing I like to do in between each sensory is take breaths and remain slow and calm. The next one is 3 things you can hear. Listen carefully. Even the very faint sounds count. I hear the clock ticking, traffic, and our office dog out in the hallway. Deep breaths. Now we're going to do 2 things you can smell. I smell my coffee, my creamer, it's really good. And I smell my colleague's breakfast lingering. And then finally, one thing you can taste, even if it's just the lingering taste in your mouth. I know that seems kind of weird, but it's true. So take a deep breath in and notice how does your body feel compared to 3 minutes ago? So let's shift gears just a little bit because sometimes resilience, like I said, is not just about us, it's about helping someone else regulate in the moment. So here's the thing, you don't have to be a therapist to support somebody. I'm not. You just have to have a calm presence and a simple tool like the one we just did. You can literally say something like, "Hey, I can see you're overwhelmed. Can I walk you through a quick grounding exercise? So this might help you. It helps me." So I'm going to guide you step by step. And it's very simple, just like I had shared with you. The script is simple. And if you want, you can take a little screenshot of this. I have no problem. I can share the slides out. But it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The biggest thing that I want to remind you guys is to have a calm voice and the pacing. I did go a little quick on mine, but that's just so we can kind of get to the point where we can have some Q&A if needed. But it might take you longer in one sensory versus another. It's all up to what you need and what the person you're supporting needs. 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's some examples of some words that you can use. Um, I'm here with you. Let's try this together. My favorite one is take your time. You are safe. Another one I like is it will be okay. You will be okay. And again, like I said, this can be used anytime, anywhere. You don't even have to be vocal about it. You can do it all in your head. If you're feeling a moment and you're like, I need to step away, and you do it. There are times where I need to. Guys, mom of 3 and a grandma of 2, there are times where I do take a step back and I'm just breathing. Like, what are you doing? Hearing you, but no, I don't say that. But you can do it anytime, anywhere, whatever works for you. So vicarious trauma. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of this. I know that sometimes it's called something different, but I do know that this is more of a trend. Um, the definition is the emotional residue we carry from witnessing or supporting others through pain or trauma. Sometimes when we take on everybody else's extra, we tend to forget about our own. Um, And I want to pause though, because teaching and using these tools brings up this vicarious trauma. All right. We feel the impact when we're constantly supporting others through their pain. And it can show up as feeling irritable or drained more than usual. You have trouble separating other stress from your own. Sometimes you feel numb or detached, and you have a difficulty recharging even when you're resting. If this sounds familiar, I'll tell you what, you're not broken. It means you're human and your empathy is working overtime. That's for sure. Anybody ever feel that way? Like I said, it may not be called vicarious trauma to you, but my favorite part of that though is understanding that means your empathy, you are an empath, and it's overworked. And you have to take a step back for yourself. That's why we say self-care is so important. If we're not taking care of ourselves and we're not our best selves, then we can't be our best selves for anybody else. And it's not selfish by any means. It's just facts. It's what we need. All right. So I don't know if I just aged myself, not just because I said I was a grandma, but it's a Bart Simpson on there. So in your chat or in head or write on your notes or something like that, name one healthy way. I'd love for you guys to put it in the chat. Name one healthy way that you can recharge, maybe after supporting others. I gave a few examples here. Sometimes I'll take a walk, listening to music, always journaling is my favorite thing. And sometimes just talking to a friend. It's whatever helps you reset. But I'm curious to see what you guys would recommend or what you do to recharge. All right. So I just like I told you guys, was a quick one. And oh gosh, clicking on your face. There we go. So real quick, like I said, today we learned three things: how to reset yourself, how to guide someone else, and also how to recognize the impact of vicarious trauma. The tools are simple, but in trauma informed practice, simple is powerful. Small shifts create big capacity. Like we talked about earlier, before we started that sensory, we were feeling one way, and then we were done. We were feeling much more calm, present, capable of doing more. So, so I appreciate you all for showing up, not just for me, but for yourselves today. And resilience is not a one time thing, it's a practice. And I'll leave you with this: you don't need to have a perfect plan, you just need the next breath. Anchor where you are and rise to what's next. Bye.